Hello and welcome to another episode of A Quick Brew.
Yay.
I am the forever enthusiastic and highly motivated David Bancroft, and I'm joined today by James. What's the point, Sharples? I can't help but notice slightly different demeanour about you today, James. What's happening your
What
side?
is the point? What is the point? I've not even brought a brew. Cheers. It's in the water. What's the point?
Um, okay. I mean, expand on it, mate. I need you to take me somewhere with this because otherwise I will have to probably just finish this recording and we'll call it a day.
LinkedIn is a big steaming pile of dog toffee.
Okay.
What's the point? You actually put thought and care and real effort into creating content that you actually think is. We'll expand further into this. That you think will actually help people, will actually offer substance, will actually build trust within your brand, and you get 12 impressions, and then somebody shares a poll of rate your attractiveness from 1 to 100%, 0 to 25, 25 to 50. Granted, decent following, but not like, massive out there
Yeah.
following, and they get thousands of impressions, close to thousands of votes, and you think, is this actually the dumbed downness that we need to get to? Has LinkedIn just been fully broken? And I'm at the stage now where I believe it is.
Fully broken.
It's fully broken. There's no point. There's no point.
You look
No,
borderline fully broken,
there's
if
no
I'm
point.
honest.
No point.
It's off. Oh, wow. Okay. So this is the first time that we've gone down this particular road. I hear what you're saying though, because, oh, that's much better.
Much better. But yeah, I mean, joking aside, it's for me, LinkedIn is your platform. So we already know that it's gone to the stem of don't be salesy, don't be promoting your products, don't be trying to sell your wares, don't be pitch slapping. And
Don't
it
be
is
too
very much about
obvious.
don't be too obvious. And it is about that, giving those free resources, giving those useful tips, giving that helpful guidance that you think will A, help people,
Yep.
especially within the wellbeing industry and from Wellity Global. We're a company, we care about people, we want to help people. We want people to feel safe at work. And the more that we can put out there to help with that, because we understand that not every company has a budget for it, the better. But you're hoping that also then builds the trust within your brand for people to reach out to you. And when you're putting that much thought, I mean, I'll give you an example. The one that I shared on basically the effective approach found for raising mental health awareness in the workplace. Put loads of thought into this, and tried to get in as much information as I possibly can, with it starting with leadership and starting with the
Mhm.
leadership culture, because they're the ones that actually drive the culture within the workplace. Put
Yeah.
some real thought into it and thought I'll give some really good advice and some help. And yeah, I think not even over 100 impressions, not many likes. But yeah, then I've shared one, and I wanted to share it because I wanted people to recognize kindness. There was
Yeah.
one that I spoke about and shared about the girl at the disco, and her nan asking me to present a present due to a mum recently passing away.
I
God,
saw
I'm starting
this.
to well up to thinking about it now. Just
Yeah.
that,
Is it smoky? Is it smoky
it's,
in here?
and um, and just that little difference, something like that could make.
Yeah.
And it wasn't posted for impressions. I genuinely wanted to share that story and tell people to be kind because I don't think there's enough of that in the world at the minute. I don't think there's enough kindness. I think we've become very cynical and look
Hmm.
to,
Yeah.
destroy people for success rather than try to uplift them. And so I just
Hmm.
wanted to look a little thing that you can do can really help somebody else. And that got thousands of impressions. And, you put out things like, I'm on holiday. What do you think to the poll? Thousands of impressions, yet the stuff that's actually got meat and some real tangible resource in there for you to use within your organization just seems to die. And
Mm.
I don't know what the answer is. I've tried various different approaches, and that's the problem as well. There's so many people with so many different approaches that say that they're working for them. Like one that was like basically promote twice a day, make sure it's 12 hours apart, do that consistently for 3 weeks. Done that, no results. You read somebody else that says, no, the magic number's between 3 to 5 times a week. Make sure you're doing a poll, make sure you're doing this, make sure you're doing that. You follow
Mm.
those patterns. Again, it's, compared to the 20,000 odd impressions, 30,000 odd impressions that I used to get,
Yeah.
back in sort of like maybe the Kuuno sort of days and things like that when I was posting on LinkedIn. You don't see any form of engagement like that anymore.
Shout out to Kevin, the Koano team.
Shout out to Kevin the Kuuno team, obviously.
Interesting. So I think the algorithm is forever changing, and I know we discussed this actually on Craig's episode, didn't we? And it is difficult. They don't tend, LinkedIn, this is, to make the algorithm and the structure of that algorithm public knowledge, and it's a bit of a guessing game. There's lots of LinkedIn gurus. Certainly in my experience, I've found that what works for me may not work for you, and vice versa. And I think that that's why it's sometimes really difficult to capture the playbook, i.e., this will work if you do this consistently. I've heard regularly people say that if you post more than once a day, then your content will, in essence, cannibalize itself. So you'll start to chew up the potential that anything ever had because you're now laying too much content into a content based platform. I agree with you. I think if you are committing time and effort into value, i.e., um, tips, i.e., something that would be thought provoking, something that people may be able to literally just swipe and deploy in their own business. I think that's the sort of content that a business platform, being LinkedIn, should really
Reward.
reward, absolutely, and
Yeah, and
prioritize.
it's yes. I mean, if we've stopped where we can't sell on LinkedIn anymore, and we're going to a stage where you need to build trust within suppliers, and we're
Yes.
always going to want to help people at Wellity. We know
Yeah.
that's the core focus and the core value of Wellity. So, as much free information that we can give to help people,
Yeah.
brilliant. If that then in turn engages trust with a prospective or a potential client that reached out to us and turned into business, fantastic. It's also done its
Mm.
job, but it seems like you can't even offer you free resources and stuff anymore. It's got to be a picture of a cat, or it's got to be, it's just it's gone to a stage now where I'm thinking, What's the point in the platform?" I've followed Jenny Blake, that posted something on it. She's got 8,000 followers. She posts some really good content. But again, another person that's been seeing these interactions and these sort of dips, in impressions
Hmm.
and real fall in the analytics. And she put a post on, so basically saying, "So today is the end of the 30-day social experiment. Posted every day with different formats and different timings, but deliberately, having spent
Mm.
any time at all trying to appease the gods of the algorithm." You've probably all heard the chatter about the fickle gods of the algo are, and I've been pretty disillusioned myself, but wanted to test it.
Yeah.
So she basically talked about this campaign that she did. So she put top one, moaned about LinkedIn, plus a holiday pick, about 5,048 impressions, 119 reactions, 79 comments. Free session I'm facilitating fortnightly. So again, that free resource, that's something that's really going to help an organization.
Yeah.
170 impressions. Free PDF download. Again, another resource for companies to use. 169 impressions. Random Facebook meme. 4,798 impressions. Video behind the scenes of training. 300 impressions. Carousel about upcoming retreat. 236 impressions. Birthday plus holiday pick. Over 1,000 impressions. Another moan about reach. Again, over 1,000 impressions, close to 1,200. And it's if somebody's doing those kind of tests where they
Mm.
they they want to give out this information. They want people to be, to help people at the same time, obviously promote the services that they can provide. And you can see, it's not that try before you buy. Essentially, we'll
Yeah.
have a look at what we
Yeah.
can do. And
Yeah.
it's a brilliant sales tactic that to be used. It's like, well, have a look at what I can do. You're not going to trust me. Obviously, you don't know me from Adam, but this is what I can do. Come and have a look at what I can do. At least see the quality of what I produce, and then
Yeah.
maybe we have that conversation. And it it's shocking. It's absolutely shocking. Granted, I know that people like to buy into the person and they like to see that personal profile being raised, but and you have to do that. So I'll put like holiday pics and such on. I'll put different posts about my own personal life, whether it be with my daughter, Sienna, and things like. And yeah, I want to show the people who I am. I am a loving father. I worship my daughter, and then that in turn will attract potentially more people to my page. But you would hope to see a pattern of the stuff you're actually putting the work into actually steadily increasing, and it just isn't.
So that's quite, yeah, that's quite interesting because again, it's, I mean, I've got maybe a bit of an argument, um, I say a bit of an argument. I've got maybe something with regards to looking at that from a different angle, maybe. So let's just say you post a picture in your speedos, yeah, and you get 10 views. 10,000 views, and it seems really popular.
I won't get 10 views on my 10,000 views on mine.
Yeah. So you've posted your speedo pic on LinkedIn, and you got 10,000 views. Amazing. But can you monetize those views? And do those views have any transactional value? So you're talking about building networks, you're talking about building community, you're talking about building trust. But are people just looking at you in your speedos thinking, what a sight, and then they move on and forget about it? Whereas if you're posting a value proposition, if you're sharing a carousel, a PDF carousel, if you're sharing something freemium, it may only get 100 or 200 impressions, but
They're the
can
right
those
ones.
impressions exactly, can those impressions actually turn into something of value for you, which is ultimately what you're committing your time and effort into doing? So is the vanity metric, i.e., the impressions, is that misleading where the true value is in the smaller sample, i.e., the 100 or 200, but they're qualified?
Completely agree. My problem with it is the disparities has to be spoken about. You know,
Okay,
that
yeah.
where it is something personal, you know, if
Hmm.
it's a picture of me and Sienna at a piano, I mean, I'd never go as low as posting I mean, I'm not sure anybody would want to see me in Speedos, to be fair. It's not exactly Daniel Craig, coming out of the water. But they but I wouldn't go to those levels, you know, because of the company that we are and the type of person that I am, and it's but yes, I will put personal posts on so people can see the me,
I like that.
but I need the other posts that I actually put thought and effort in
Yeah,
to, even if they achieved half, even if they achieved a quarter of the impressions, that the personal stuff does, because there is some real value, there's some real thought, there's some real, you know, planning and careful study and careful, construction of those posts
yeah.
that I've put the work into there to create them in the hope that it might help someone, in the
I
hope
think
that
that's
it
fair.
might attract, some more people to my page and that build that trust, within who I am, what the company does, and this disparity is too much. I mean, I think I completely shown that within Jenny Blake's post, where she put moan about LinkedIn plus a holiday pic with over 5,000 impressions, but then an actual free webinar, which there's a cost to that. You know,
Of
she'll
course there
be
is.
on a daily hourly rate.
Yep,
There's a cost to her actually putting that on. To
of
receive
course.
only 170 impressions on that, for me, is criminal.
Mm. It's and it's not dissimilar to marketing. We're in sales. We're not in marketing as much as marketing and sales should
Compliment.
happily walk hand in
Hand
hand.
in
We
hand.
we would classify ourselves as sales rather than marketing. Now, sales is very obvious. This is the deal, so this is what it's worth. My effort. Marketing, as we always know, what's the ROI? It's very difficult sometimes to qualify what the ROI of any marketing campaign is, and you can try and project, forecast, report, but in sales you pick up a phone, you create revenue, you can report on it. In marketing, the billboard, the TV slot, the newspaper ad, the social drop, whatever it
I mean,
might be,
it's
it can be
difficult. I mean,
tough.
you can put procedures in place to
Yep.
basically try and define and analyze where that data comes from, but let's
Yeah,
all be
you
honest.
use code.
Where did you hear about us? Word of mouth. Whatever the first option is, bosh.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
gonna be so it is difficult to track. So you can only really do it about impressions, and then if you actually go back into, sales and such that you've made and then link that to somebody that has liked or commented on one of your statuses, yes, you can see it's working. But again, if somebody's gauged by impressions, within a marketing department from LinkedIn, and especially from a well-being perspective that I would be speaking from, if a post of their cat in a Christmas hat has got more impressions than the free masterclasses that we're putting on for 6 months to really help people within organizations, I'd be going, "Well, we need to do something about that."
it does it annoy you that I'd like to see the cat in a Christmas hat?
I'll just Google one and post it and see what happens.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I'll
And
state
was
mine.
yeah. Yeah. And see where you go with that. But yeah. So it is tough to qualify what's working and what isn't, and is the vanity metric of impressions ever anything to value, or is it the traction? I can tell you firsthand. For literally decades, I received very little inbound working opportunity. Pretty much everything that I monetized was via outbound outreach and
Yeah,
engagement. Um, I do now, though, and again, I think it's attributable to a number of things, but mainly LinkedIn content. I do receive inbound opportunities, and I have buying clients who I work with because of my LinkedIn work. And I can tell
good.
you with certainty that the people that have actually risen to the surface as buyers via LinkedIn, and this is again a real anomaly for me, and something I'm just trying to reconcile. They were voyeuristic to my content, so they tended not to like, they tended not to comment, they tended not to share. I never knew who they were through never having seen them on my feed until they reached out to me and said, Dave, I would love you to help with X, Y, and Z. They were quietly from the sidelines watching and building an impression of me before actually reaching out and asking for service. And again, that's such a anomaly because you would think that someone would be engaging, and then they would reach
No,
out
no,
to you.
you do see it within in the sense of if they think it's something that's real quality, again, there's
Yeah,
people don't like to share. So, if they see something and they see an opportunity, I could work with this guy and my competitors aren't gonna know about him. You can see people with that voyeuristic tendency of then approaching you from watching your content. And again, it shows you that the trust is working. But can I ask how many people that has been? So even in the sort of like this year, how many people have directly reached out to you?
so people that have reached out to me that we've subsequently worked with, so we have now a commercial relationship, I would say every other month. um
So it's
so
been a new customer. So every other
yes,
month, so
a new
so then you're
buying
talking
customer. Yeah.
a new buying customer. So then you're talking,
Yeah.
say, like 5 so far this year. But
Exactly. Yeah.
imagine what that would be if the algorithm wasn't broken. Even if it just was those voyeuristic people that would just still show up on impressions. Do you
Yeah.
know what? If the algorithm wasn't broken and those impressions were reaching the right people rather than the content of somebody's new tattoo, that thousands of people have liked, or rather a survey about, "Do you hate work? Yes or no?" The
Yeah.
ones that they've got genuine content and use, and they
Yes.
were in front of the right people, and the algorithm did help it, those opportunities, I guarantee, would be a lot more. And that's something that I think we should come on to on the next podcast, is talking about a theory I have that seems to be shared a lot recently, is about dumbing down content and a lot of stuff within media and films, purely because they want to be people to be able to look at their phones and look at another device while watching and taking in that movie. And
So
it's something
easy
that
to
we're
consume. That's
easy.
you know what, that's really interesting. Also, on this basis, because we've spoken about LinkedIn twice now, I know we discussed it in the episode with Craig a little earlier on. Should we put out a call to action for a LinkedIn guru? LinkedIn guru.
LinkedIn guru, feel
We
free to
want
join
one.
us.
We
We
want one
want
on the
one.
show.
We
Let's
want a
get one.
LinkedIn guru on the show, and
Yep.
also a message to anybody within LinkedIn that works on the algorithm: do better. Do better.
um, and finally, can you imagine? And Daniel Craig need not imagine. Can you imagine being the person who's referenced as the guy coming out of the water in a speedos as being a positive thing?
I mean, he
'Cause
had a he had a good rig on him. To be fair, if I looked like Daniel Craig in those speedos, I would spend my time across the west, south, and east coast of the country just swimming out of the sea constantly.
wow. Yeah. Imagine. Imagine. James, we haven't had word of the day. We haven't managed in this 20-minute conversation to find a word of the day.
Algorithm. Let's go with algorithm.
Okay. All right.
I think algorithm is one to stick with and ask the proud owners of LinkedIn and the proud people that work for
Microsoft,
the company and the proud people that help that small businesses globally do better.
they know how to charge. They know how to charge. So yeah, do better. Interesting. Really enjoyed that. And actually, James, what's the point, Sharples? I was a little worried at the beginning we were going to veer horribly off course and we'd have to shut this down before we've even started it off. So thanks for
You've always got to
derobing.
bring a bit of theatrics to any form of presentation.
Really enjoyed it. If you're a LinkedIn guru, get in touch. We want you on the show. LinkedIn algorithm, please do better. As
Chin
always,
chin
chin chin.
to a
And
quick brew.
thank you for listening, guys. Appreciate that.